Welcome to this week's Maryland's Missing and the Murdered. Maryland's Missing and the Murdered is a weekly YouTube channel that covers the topic of missing and murdered individuals from the state of Maryland. This week, I am covering 2 unsolved murders. One in Baltimore, Maryland, and one in Arnold, Maryland. Macauley was 59 years old, living in the Roland Park neighborhood of Baltimore, Maryland. Roland Park is an affluent section of Baltimore that has a very low crime rate. Molly had a master's degree and a doctorate in economics. She had renowned expertise on economics of satellites, and she had testified before Congress. Molly was the vice president at Resources for the Future in Washington, D.C. Every morning at 5 a.m., no matter the weather, Molly would run in her neighborhood. After her run, she would prepare for work, and her boyfriend would take her to the train station to board a train to D.C. for work. Her normal routine would be that she would return between 9 and 11:30 p.m., and then she would walk her 2 dogs before bed. Her 2 dogs were a Plott hound and an Irish wolfhound, 2 very large breeds. On July 8, 2016, Molly and her boyfriend attended a Baltimore Orioles game. When they returned from the game, Molly went to walk her dogs before bed as usual. Around 10:40 p.m., neighbors heard screaming outside on University Parkway, 1 block from Molly's home. Neighbors found Molly Macauley laying on the ground, bleeding and holding onto her dog's leashes. Paramedics rushed Molly to the hospital, where she was declared deceased from being stabbed in the neck. As of 2020, no one has been arrested for Molly Macaulay's murder. Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward. If you have any information, please call 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. On to the next unsolved murder. Joanne Valentine was a 47-year-old mother of 2 sons living in Arnold, Maryland. Her and her husband Vincent owned the Rumble Fish Bar in Pasadena, Maryland. Around 4 a.m. on September 26, 1993, Joanne was coming home from the bar. As Joanne was pulling into her driveway, a small car pulled in behind her. Neighbors heard arguing outside but could not make out exact words being said. A shot rang out, and Joanne's husband and sons came running outside. Joanne was bleeding in the driveway, and when paramedics arrived, they found Vincent cradling Joanne there. Unfortunately, Joanne Valentine did not make it. She was shot through the forearm and into her neck, as if she was trying to block the gunshot. Police determined that robbery was not a motive, as Joanne had $3,000 on her. As Joanne had no enemies, police leaned toward an attempted carjacking as the motive, as a carjacking was attempted in the area earlier in the night. A week later, police pulled over a car of suspected shoplifters in Pasadena, Maryland. In the car, a handgun was found that was linked to Joanne's murder. One of the men in the car, Edward McLeod, was charged with Joanne's murder, but the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. In 1994, a person charged in another case told police that he heard McLeod and another man talking about Joanne's murder. Those 2 men were charged in Joanne's murder, but the charges were dropped yet again. As of 2020, there have been no arrests in Joanne's murder. If you have any information, please call police at 410-222-3460. Thank you for joining me this week. If there is a Maryland missing or murdered case that you would like to see on this channel, email me at marylandsmissing@gmail.com. Music is by Silent Vengeance. Sources will be listed in the outro. I will see you again next week. Be kind to one another. You never know what will happen tomorrow.